Hey ladies, sorry it's been so long. A lot of stuff has happened, but I'm finally getting around to it for my labor story. Um, Lo and behold, it's baby Owen! He is almost 2 months old already. That's how behind I am. I'm just gonna get right into it because the longer my videos go on my phone, they tend to not load on YouTube, so July 10th, the day after my birthday, was my niece's birthday party, and about 1 a.m. I woke up with contractions, which that's been happening probably 2 weeks prior to having Owen, so I didn't think anything of it. I timed them for a little bit because they were, strong, but I ended up falling back asleep. And the next day we went to my niece's birthday party. It was a pool party. I was not able to sit outside because it was so hot, but I stayed inside and I was just having lots of contractions, and I thought they were Braxton Hicks because they weren't necessarily that painful. It was just that tightening of the stomach or whatever. But then I noticed there was a lot of pressure down there, and I just thought, well, maybe he's dropping. That's good. Went to the bathroom and I had a little bit of show, so I was like, okay, Oh, I forgot to tell you, the next day I was scheduled to be induced. So I didn't think anything of it. I was like, oh, maybe I'm gonna be dilated a little bit and my induction won't go so long. So all through the day they started getting a little worse, that pressure pain. I started noticing less of the tightening and more of the pressure pain, and it was so bad. Like, I couldn't talk through them or anything, and it was just like, oh, people were like, oh, you're having another contraction. I'm like, yeah. And so anyway, that we were there all day. We were like there from 10 to 4 or something like that. So after that we did a few errands and then we went home, and I got home about 6, and I was like, I gotta go to the bathroom really bad. I felt like I had to pee. So I went to the bathroom and I barely could pee at all, and it was just so much pressure, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and call my mom and I'm just gonna go get checked at the hospital to see if anything's happening. I thought, I'm curious. So my mom gets there and we get to the hospital, and they started getting really bad. Like, the car ride was miserable. So my husband dropped me off at the front of the hospital. I sat on the bench. I was about to lose it, and I was like, okay, we need to hurry up and get up there, see what's going on. So I made it all the way up, the elevator, and then we started walking down the hall towards the nurse's station. I couldn't do it anymore. I just, I had to lean on the little railing on the side of the wall, and I was just, my teeth were chattering for some reason, like, that's how bad I was in pain, and I was crying, and a nurse happened to come out and say, do you need a wheelchair? And we were like, yes, please. So she goes running towards the labor and delivery and brings out a wheelchair and wheels me back, and she just told my husband, stay here and sign her in, fill out the paperwork, because they could tell something was up. And I went to this little triage area where they hook you up to monitors and to see if you're, contracting and tell if you're in labor. And I was in so much pain, I could not get off that wheelchair, and there was nobody back there. And I was in the middle of the hall. I wasn't even in the little triage room. And she goes, just stand up. So they helped me up, and she goes, well, you need to take your pants off. And I was like, I can't do it. And she goes, well, nobody's back here. And that's not what I was worried about. I just physically could not move. And she was like, okay, well, we'll do it. So they took my pants off for me and helped me into the bed. And she checked me, and she goes, oh, you're at a 9. I was at a 9. Like, oh my God. So everything just went from, oh, let's just check what he was, to like, oh, we need to get you back now. And everything was like rushed and chaotic. They pulled the rails up or whatever, and they're wheeling me out, and they said, get the dad, because he didn't have time to fill out paperwork. So he came back, we got in a room. They turned on the little incubator thing, and lights were going on. Everything was like chaotic, and I couldn't do it. I said, I need an epidural. And they said, honey, you're at 9, you can do this. I said, no, I have a low pain tolerance. I need that epidural. And they go, honey, you made it till 9. You can do it. And I was like, no, I want to try to have an epidural. And she goes, okay, well, we'll ask, but when you're this far along, they usually don't do it. And the doctor came in and said, just let me pop your water, you know, and you'll have that baby in like 2 minutes. And I was like, I can't do it, I can't do it. I mean, it was bad. This pain was excruciating. And so the anesthesiologist happened to be free, and he came in and he said, I can't give you an epidural because you're so close, but I'll give you a spinal tap. And I was like, okay, do it. I'll hold this baby in until you can do it. And sure enough, I did. I figured, oh, they're going to make me sit up on the edge of the bed to put the spinal tap in. That's going to pop my water. I knew it. But I was able to sit up on the edge of the bed just fine. The spinal tap went really fast, and I kept him in. And then I laid back, and, you know, it was almost immediate. Like, the pain went away of the contractions. The pressure was still there, but the contractions went away, so I was able to relax. And by that time, it was about 7:30. And then they were like, okay, well, and then they started asking me the questions to put in the computer, all the registration stuff, you know, and putting bracelets on me and stuff like that. And then I guess it was a shift change because a different doctor came in. She was a girl, and she says, okay, well, is your spinal tap working? I said, yeah, I can't feel nothing, so except the pressure. And she was, okay, well, let's go ahead and break your water, and then we'll have that baby. Okay. So she breaks my water, and she's like, all right, just let one of the nurses know when you start feeling pressure. And I was like, okay. I mean, it was instant. Like, I could feel that head going down, and it was so painful. That pressure pain is like the worst, and like I lose my mind. There's no, you know, I'll focus through it and get through it. No, I lose my mind. And so she's like, okay. So it was panic again because they had just left and everything, so they had to return all the lights on and put their scrubs on and stuff like that. And she's all right, let's give some pushes. And I probably pushed maybe 5 times, and he was born. So that was my labor story. It was chaotic. Like, by the time I got to the hospital, it was probably 6:45, 7 o'clock, and I had him at 8:30. I mean, that's how fast it was. And I am so impressed with myself that I made it to 9 centimeters. I mean, that's crazy. I was going to be so mad if I got there in that much pain. They said, oh, you're at a 2. We're going to go ahead and send you home. That's what I was worried about. But nope, I was at a 9. I couldn't believe it. He was born really fast. He did not want to be induced, I guess. He wanted to come on his own terms. So now I have that beautiful baby boy. Yeah, he's a little fussy right now. So that was how my labor went. I had no idea I was going into labor the day before. No signs whatsoever. Yep, just had a little bit of bloody show. Had contractions. I guess they did slowly get more intense, but I thought it'd be like over 4 hours they'd get more intense. No, this was probably from 1 to 3. 1 a.m. to 3 p.m. was the time length it took for them to intensify and get to the point where I was like, this is painful. So, didn't know I was in active labor till I got to the hospital. So. But that's that. I'll probably make another video just about what it's like having 3 kids. Life has changed quite significantly since then, but that was that, guys. To all the trying to conceive people out there, I hope you have your moment and you can share your journey. And for all those waiting for labor to start, just don't get discouraged if you're at, you're not dilating or effaced, because I was not for the longest time until the week before I had him. They said, oh, you're at a 1 and you're 50% effaced. So I was hardly anything, and it seems like the next day it was like boom, things started happening, and I had no idea it was coming. So keep faith that it could happen any day. So I will talk to y'all later. Bye.